Ladies and gentlemen, today we shall deal with what a perfect square quadratic equation is. Probably someone asked this question on the channel on the comments, so I had to just give a video on this probably. So a perfect square. What is a perfect square quadratic equation? Now, firstly, let's understand the concept of perfect square. What do we understand by perfect square? Now, what is a perfect square? Now, perfect square is referred to as the result of a number multiplied twice, or better still, the result of an integer multiplied twice. That is, if I'm having x times x. So this is probably an integer, be it positive or negative. When it is multiplying itself twice, it is actually what? A perfect square. So that is the reason why my 2 squared can be equal to 4. In this case, 4 is my perfect square. If I'm saying my 8 squared equals to 64, in this case 64 is my perfect square, because 64 is the result of an integer multiplied twice. So that's just the concept of perfect squares. So perfect squares now can occur in many ways. Now, if you're not to explain what perfect square simply means in quadratic equation, actually it is probably the multiplication of a simple linear equation twice. For what's a simple linear equation? In quadratic equation, I have my ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, right? Now in this case, the highest power of my x, or my unknown variable, is what? Is 2, and the next one is 1, the last one is 0, which means this equals 1, isn't it? But for a simple linear equation, the highest power is always 1. So probably I can now have my ax plus b. This is an example of a simple linear equation, and if it is a without equal to, it's not a simple linear expression. So probably it is multiplication of a simple linear equation. It is when a simple linear equation is multiplying itself just twice. So for instance, if I'm having a simple linear equation like this, ax plus b, this times itself again. So I'm only multiplying this twice, which makes it a perfect square actually. That's ax plus b all squared. So the result this will be given is a perfect square. So what's the result? I'll be having ax squared plus 2ab x plus b squared. This is a perfect square. So that's just what a perfect square quadratic equation simply means. So in this case, this is a perfect quadratic equation. Why is it a perfect square quadratic equation? Because of it is in form of a quadratic equation. If I'm to break this down, I'll be having I have x squared here plus 2ab. I have x plus b squared, and I have x raised plus 0. So if this is an expression, as it is like the highest power of x is 2, and whenever the highest power of x is 2, it is said to be what? A quadratic equation. So probably it is a perfect quadratic equation as it is so, due to it is multiplication of two simple linear equations. Probably the same thing, not different simple linear equations, not different simple linear expressions, same simple linear expressions. So that's that about that. Now, in quadratic equation, knowing your identifying if a quadratic equation is a perfect square, I've discussed this in a previous video. And I will be re-explaining that. So in case you miss it, then I would like you to pay attention. Now, perfect square quadratic equation. Now, what is this? Now, this is the point. If ax plus b is a simple linear equation, then I said when I multiply it twice, or when I raise it to the power of 2, it has become a perfect square, which is ax plus b. So now, if solving this, I'll be having my ax plus b all squared equals to what? Ax all squared plus 2abx plus b squared. So breaking this down, I'll be having ax plus b all squared equals to a squared x squared plus 2abx plus bx. So now I can now see ax plus b all squared equals to my a squared. I want to make it simple now, plus my 2ab, then my x plus 9bx plus 9b squared. So this is times x raised to power 0, this is times x raised to power 1. This is a quadratic expression. And there's a particular way I can make it the quadratic squared quadratic equation. And the formula is just whenever b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, therefore the quadratic equation is equal to is a perfect square. Is a perfect square. So to prove that this is probably we are sure it is a perfect square, or we can as well be sure, in case if we are just given an equation like this directly and we don't even know its source, we don't know if it's coming from here or not, then you can use this to verify if it's a perfect square. And as according to the quadratic rules, this is good as your a. Wherever I have an coefficient of x is my b, and the constant here is my c. Is my c. So now from there, 9b squared minus 4ac must be equals to 0. So therefore, what's my b there? That's my 2ab all squared minus 4 times. What's my a squared? What's my c? B squared, right? So doing this, I'm having 4a squared b squared minus 4a squared b squared. Actually, this will always give me 0. So meaning what we have here is a perfect square. That's just it. So in summary, a perfect square is the result, it's simply defined as the result of the product of same integer. So it can be both negative integers, actually. It can be both minus x times minus x. It's always give you x squared. Positive x times positive x will also give you x squared. So this is just to note that a perfect square will always be a positive integer. It can never be. So when you are getting a negative integer as a perfect square, definitely it isn't a perfect square. So that's not about perfect square. Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, also like and share. No ma, we're shooting, isn't it?